Imagine having the power to create a digital product that not only grabs attention, but enhances your client's online presence and saves some valuable time. Two critical needs in today's fast-paced world. With powerful website frameworks like Next.js and React, you'll be able to create visually appealing website components that can be used across multiple projects to have a quick setup time. Once you master the basics, you'll be able to use your components over and over again to deliver high-quality websites at scale. This is how you can use Next.js and React to quickly create standout websites and get you paid. Hello, I'm Thomas Musial, the owner of FocusFlowSoftware.com that lets you learn how to make these apps. So first, you're going to want to make the directory of your app wherever you want on your computer. And then you want to drag it into any code editor you want or wherever you want to make your project. And the one thing that you'll need to download for this tutorial is Node Package Manager, and I'll leave the link to that in the description. And then once you have all of that and you've determined where you want to make your website, in the terminal you can do npx create next app at latest, so the most recent version of Next.js, and you can do it in this directory. Now I like to use TypeScript for this because you can define all of your variables, and this will save you a lot of errors in the long run, but we'll get more into that when we cross it. And then I like to do all the default settings, and I also like to use tailwind CSS because this means we can have all the code for our components in a singular file, and it will speed up our process a lot. And we do everything else. Once everything downloads, you can do npm install to make sure everything's installed properly, and then you can do npm run dev to make the basic website run on your laptop or computer. So then you can go to localhost 3000 and you can see the basic version of the website will be loading up just like this. Now that we have the basic version of the website, I'll teach you how you can make your reusable components and make some really cool stuff. Alright, once we have the localhost version of the website up and running, we're going to want to first change in the tsconfig.json the module resolution from bundle to node. I don't know why it's like this, but it's just something you have to change. And then you want to make your way to the src folder, and you want to go to page.tsx. So everything you see here is put onto the website. So if you change it, like if you write focus on here, it will change to focus. So whatever you change on the screen on the tsx files is what you will see on your website. Now, to make the reusable components, we can make a new folder called src, and this is where our main components, and this is where we're going to keep all of our components. If a website is an outfit, you can think of the components as a piece of clothing, and you can combine a lot of pieces of clothing together to make an outfit, and that's what we're going to do today. In addition to the components file that we just made, we're going to want to make another folder, and this is where we're going to keep all of our data. So we can reuse the same components, but we can put different text and different images on them. And we're just going to name this data.ts. Now, this tutorial isn't necessarily a coding tutorial, but it's more so how you can set up all the components once you have them made and create a website very fast. So me, for example, I've been coding a good amount of time, and I have about 50 components here. And this is just one project that I can use at any time to deploy and make a website very quickly. Now, very quickly, I want to show you the difference, or actually the advantage when you use React instead of regular website programming. Here I have a regular JavaScript file, and you can see if you're not using React, you're going to need an HTML file, a JavaScript file, and a CSS file. All when with React, you can have it in one TSX file, which combines all three. So you can just easily copy paste and make your components very quickly. So here you can simply copy paste from GitHub, and then in your new project, you can just remake the component. Very easy. Copy paste, bam, then you have it right in there. And now I'm going to get into why we use TypeScript instead of regular JavaScript, because we're going to be passing in a lot of different data into each component, as you'll see next. We want to make sure we pass in the correct things. So the component I just made it takes in a lot of strings, a Boolean, and potentially a custom React piece, but we won't need to do this for this tutorial. But once you define all the pieces, then we can make the data file so that we can reuse this image text box component and use it multiple times throughout the website. Now I'm going to show you how you can make a data file so you can keep all of your data in it. So you'll be able to use the image text box multiple times by using custom data, as you can see down here. We pass in our title, our image, and everything else we use. So when we have the data files, let's say we have 2 of them, we can have multiple images within image text box, so we can make reusable components very easily. So we'll make a data TS file, and then we have some data right here. Now you see I've also defined all the props that an image text box will take, and then I have 2 separate data pieces, so we can use it on 2 separate image text boxes. So then we can go back to our main page right here. We can delete all this stuff and make a new layout container. Nothing crazy, just a simple container right here. Boom. And now we're going to have to import our image text box into this file. So we can do import image text box, and then you can see it comes up right here. And then we can render it right here. But as you can see, we didn't pass in any data, so we get nothing because there's no data passed in. So we're going to also have to import our data from the data file and then use it in here. So then we can also do import. And when we import data, we have to use curly braces. So then we use image text box. Let's try to find it here. Image text box 1 from data. And now we can pass it in as an object here. And we can use the spread operator, which is a ... and then image text box 1. This means we take the ... means we take in every single object from this object. So then you can see it's rendered on the screen, and we can do this again with the second piece of data. So we can do image text box 2, and then we can render another one like this. Let's find it, and then we can pass in all the attributes from the other piece of data. Close the bracket with a tag, and now you can see we have 2 image text boxes with different text, different images, but they all come from the same component. So you can pretty much do this infinitely, and you can have as many of these objects as you want. You can even just copy paste and keep it going if you really want to. Have another one set up easy like that, bam. And the cool thing about this, you can see there are variations with the image being on one side or another, and this is possible because I have to find the reverse variant, and if that's true, we can do a styling here, flex row reverse or flex row. Now that's a bit more advanced, but this is just how you can make reusable components and make them slightly different every time. And then once you have this, and then you have a lot of code, you can have 100 different components here, or as many as you want, and just copy paste and keep adding as many components as you like, and you can make a website very quickly with this strategy. Over enough time, if you keep coding about 3 to 4 hours every day for about a year, you can build up a lot of code like this. This is on my personal website. This is just one page. But you can see all the different types of components I have. A lot of stuff. Like at this point now, if I need to make a website, I can do it in maybe 2-3 days. It used to take probably weeks to really learn. But yeah, you can have so many components here. As you can see, all these components here, it's a lot of stuff. Now it's really easy. You just got to keep putting in the work every day. You can see here about 34 repositories of code. And then here are some different projects I've done. You can see the image text box that we were using in the example here. Same thing. You can see it here, which one I like to use a lot. And then here. So there's a lot of different examples. This is probably one of the more fundamental pieces you can have, and I have a tutorial on it. But that's how you can make React components in Next.js to make websites very quickly. And follow and subscribe, because I'll be teaching how to make a lot of these cool components to help your website stand out. Keep working at your craft, and I'll see you next time.